Hello, guys. Joker the Fool here, and this is the Horseman #1. Of course, the Horseman, when he was first announced at MegaCon in February of 2024, he's only been a favorite of the fans since then. Welcome to Forest Park made, of course, over $800,000 and really cemented the popularity of this character. So much so that during the Rippaverse, it was revealed that the Horseman would have an ongoing series, and this first issue is kicking it off. And as such, with this being a #1, of course, from Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett, the same team that brought you Alpha Core and Zalen, did a fantastic job with this issue. But this is a foundational issue, as Chuck says in this opening letter right here. There is a lot of story that Chuck has to tell of his character, and Joe does as well. And you really get some insight into what this is. Of course, opens up with a really nice one-page spread, and then a really cool two-page spread. Although there isn't too many of these page spreads, Joe likes to use them for the big action scenes, and this book is more expositional, foundational to establishing the character. And as such, there are a lot of, I wouldn't say filler scenes, but scenes that are more or less like Hector talking in therapy, Hector going on a run and trying to adjust to civilian life, and Hector talking with his family, working his regular warehouse job during the day to try and be an honest man, talking with his family as well. And then, of course, you then later in the book have the plot worked in with Cal Buxton. So you see this spread where he's meeting Cal Buxton, who of course was the character that was teased to us in the Horseman #1 trailer. And while we don't get everything revealed to us, this is of course a #1. So like I said, this is just establishing the Horseman, getting him back in the game, getting his gear, getting his ride, which he calls, if I can find it, the Stallion, which is an absolutely epic name. You see right here, this is the Stallion right here. Absolutely epic. So just getting the character of the Horseman established for this ongoing series, where you could see it running for 100 issues, is what this #1 is doing. And right as it gets exciting, right as you feel like the Horseman is coming back, it ends, which is really frustrating and also really interesting at the same time. It makes you wish that we had a omnibus of the Horseman. You could read like, 10, 20 issues of the Horseman, just all in one go. That's really the feeling you get when you hit that last page of the Horseman. But of course, this is the start of the ongoing series, and it's going to be continued in the Horseman #2. So, like I said, that's the one really disappointing thing with this book, is that it ends on such an epic cliffhanger. And Chuck Dixon does a lot of foundational work very early in the book, establishing, touching on his origins, because he was part of a unit that was nicknamed the Horseman, and all of his comrades, his 3 comrades in arms, all die. Which is unfortunate, but that's the reality of war. And then it transitions very beautifully, because it has, like I said, that therapist scene right there where he's talking about what happened in the past, and then it goes to his present day reality, where he's trying to adjust to playing straight. Of course, he can't. He sees the billboard from Cal Buxton that gets him back in the game. It's a very well-structured story, but the story that this #1 tells is really setting you up as the reader for what's going to happen in the next issues. So this really is not this like super action-packed book. More of the pages are going to look like this, where the layouts are done really well. Joe does a fantastic job with the action scenes, of course, but even with these calmer scenes, these scenes of exposition, they're done incredibly well. Even something like this, where he's bursting in on a pool party because he thinks someone's getting mugged, he manages to make it look interesting. So everything that Joe does is an absolute masterpiece. Of course, he's got Fabio Jansen he's working with, Jay Brown he's working with as well. And Invisible Art Studio has been the letterer for the Rippaverse since, I'd say sometime around Alpha Core. They've been doing a lot of books for the Rippaverse, and they are the team that's been lettering everything for the Rippaverse, and they have a really good lock on the quality, getting the lettering unique for the character. Absolutely love having like the logo there, and then that lettering that matches the color scheme. It really makes the narrations hit and feel more impactful, feel more like it's actually the character monologuing it, and then the placement and everything is done well. There is a couple of these monologue scenes that you gotta reread twice. It's like, but once you do, it does really hit quite well. So I wouldn't really have that as a hard criticism, more like a nitpick. So there really isn't anything to me with this foundational issue that stands out as being bad. It's a fantastic start to the ongoing series of the Horseman, and it really lives up to what the fans want from this character. In my opinion, of course, the ball is going to get rolling in the second, the third, and the other issues later down the line in the ongoing series. This really is just setting a strong foundation for this character, this street level vigilante that's going to cross over with Alpha Corps, that's going to cross over with a lot of characters in Florist Park. So Chuck and Joe really had to get this right, and they absolutely delivered on this first issue. And I'm really excited to see where this ongoing series takes not only the character of the Horseman himself, but everybody he interacts with, because there's going to be a lot that the Horseman does. It's going to have implications in the wider Rippaverse, which is going to be really exciting to see. So can't wait to see what is in store next for the Horseman, what's in store next for the Rippaverse. Of course, I do Rack's Cast, where I cover all of that, but I'm also going to be reviewing all of these Rippaverse books that come out as well. This is definitely one I recommend if you like vigilante characters. If you liked Horseman Welcome to Florist Park, then you definitely have to pick this up, because it really goes right after Welcome to Florist Park. Chuck does a great job of picking up the pieces and really building a strong foundation for this character to go into the rest of his ongoing series, which ends on a really epic cliffhanger for this one and just going to leave you wanting that second issue. But until we have that second issue, I really can't say anything else about the Horseman. So thank you guys for enjoying this video. If you did, you can like it. If you didn't, dislike it. And if you really enjoy the content, subscribe to Velvet Room Publishing, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out about the Rippaverse, and I'm going to be covering it all. So don't really have anything else for you there. Thank you so much once again. Joker is out.
Thank you for stopping by the Velvet Room. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep up with Velvet Room Publishing, and go to velvetroompublishing.com if you want to go even deeper into the Velvet Room.